Yemen's civil war has generated the perfect conditions for a massive oil spill to happen. Here are the details. The Guardian reports that an abandoned and rusting oil tanker with 1.1 million barrels of oil on board is like a ticking time bomb that can easily break up and cover the Yemen coastline under tons of crude oil. The FSO Safer is a single-hulled tanker that carries 4 times more oil than was spilled during the massive Exxon Valdez disaster in 1989. The ship was abandoned in 2017 and keeps on deteriorating while Yemen's Houthi rebels fight a civil war against a Saudi-led coalition on the land next to it. In May 2020, water entered the ship's engine room through a leaking pipe, and the vessel's fire extinguishing system is now non-operational, according to a study published in the journal Nature Sustainability. Researchers say a hull breach would cover important coral reefs and oil, while also closing desalination plants and cutting 9 million people off from clean water. The likely oil spill would also destroy a big part of Yemen's fish sources at a time when the country is starting to suffer from famine. The rebels, who control the area where the ship is located, have previously blocked UN inspectors from assessing the vessel. However, the Houthis have repeatedly blamed the Saudi-led coalition that is fighting them for preventing UN inspectors' access to the tanker. A major oil spill has struck the surfer's paradise of Huntington Beach in California. Here are the details. Reuters reports that a leak in an oil pipeline dumped more than 500,000 liters of crude oil on the famous beaches of Huntington Beach in California. Disaster reaction units kicked into gear early Saturday, October 2nd, when boaters reported seeing an oily sheen on the water. The oil spill was caused by a suspected leak in an underwater pipeline that takes oil from an oil production facility to shore. The leaking pipeline is 28 kilometers long and runs 24 to 30 meters under the surface of the ocean. It connects to an oil production platform named Ellie, which in turn is connected by a walkway to a drilling platform named Ellen. The facility began operating in 1980 in an area called the Beta Field. Oil pulled from beneath the ocean and processed by Ellie is taken by the pipeline to Long Beach. Authorities say beaches will remain closed for weeks and maybe even months. All of Huntington Beach was closed, and the spill covered beaches from the Huntington Beach Pier down to Newport Beach, a stretch of beachfront that's popular with surfers and sunbathers. Miyoko Sakashita, director of the Center for Biological Diversity's Oceans Program, told the Associated Press that the oil spill just shows how dirty and dangerous oil drilling is and oil that gets into the water. It's impossible to clean it up, so it ends up washing up on our beaches. British Royal Marine seized an Iranian tanker on its way to Syria through Gibraltar on Thursday for violating EU sanctions. Gibraltar authorities said they had reason to believe the Grace 1 tanker was carrying crude oil to the Banias refinery in Syria. According to The Guardian, Britain said troops seized the ship early morning on July 4th to enforce EU sanctions against Syria. Royal Marines from 42 Commando landed on the ship by descending from a Wildcat helicopter. Images from the UK's Ministry of Defence show other British troops reaching the vessel via a speedboat. Gibraltar authorities said in a tweet the vessel departed Iran in mid-April for what they believe to be Syria by sailing around Africa. It was seized when it entered British territorial waters. Iranian state news agency IRNA cited an official from the foreign ministry as saying that the tanker was sailing in international waters and was seized illegally by the United Kingdom. Tehran has since summoned the UK's ambassador to Iran over what it is referring to as the illegal seizure of its oil tanker. The Syrian government has yet to respond to the incident. An oil spill in the seas near Mauritius is so large that it can be seen from space. Here is what we know so far. Reuters reports Mauritius has declared a state of emergency after a stricken tanker began spilling tons of fuel, causing an ecological disaster among the reefs to the southeast of the island nation. The Panamanian-flagged bulk carrier Wakashio is owned by Japan-based Okio Marine, an affiliate of Nagashiki Shipping. According to the Washington Post, the ship struck the reefs on July 25th and has leaked more than 1,000 tons of oil. India-based news site The Saddle reports that the 300-meter-long Wakashio carried 3,800 tons of bunker fuel, 200 tons of diesel, and 90 tons of lubricants. According to Al Jazeera, Mauritius fears the ship could break up completely and release all its cargo. Al Jazeera reports oil sludge could be seen seeping into the ocean and white sand beaches, which threatens the fish, coral, and marine wildlife that Mauritius depends on for its economy. Once again, 2020 hits the ball right out of the park. Perhaps now is a good time to brush up these woodsy skills you have always fantasized about, supposing, of course, that there will be a wilderness for us to run to at the end of all this. Last month's oil spill in Mauritius could end up ruining one of the last great hotspots of marine biodiversity left on Earth. Now, an investigation suggests it happened because someone on the ship wanted to get within cell phone range of the island for a birthday celebration, among other damning details. Here's what we know so far. The Panama Maritime Authority has officially joined the investigation of the final voyage of the MV Wakashio. The Wakashio ran aground on a coral reef in July and broke apart in mid-August, spilling 1,000 tons of oil. It was the worst environmental disaster in the history of Mauritius. Mauritius is a small and poor island state in the Indian Ocean. It depends on fish, corals, and marine wildlife for food and tourism for its economy. The accident happened at Point Desny, a coral reef that lies near a marine park and is listed under the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands of International Importance. The Wakashio entered the Indian Ocean on July 16th. The Panamanian-flagged, Japanese-owned bulk carrier adjusted course on July 21st. The ship then entered Mauritius's exclusive economic zone on July 23rd. On July 25th, it changed course again and collided with the reef off the coast of Mauritius at 7:15 p.m. The Panama Maritime Authority confirmed revelations first reported by local newspaper L'Express. The Wakashio made a course change to get within 5 miles of Mauritius to pick up a cell phone signal for a crew member's birthday celebration. The investigation also found that the chart displayed on the Wakashio's electronic chart display and information system was the wrong chart and the wrong scale. This made it impossible to properly verify the approach of the coast and shallower waters. Mauritian waters are home to 1,700 species according to the UN Convention on Biological Diversity. Speaking to the BBC, Karina Chokan, a senior lecturer in marine biology at the University of Brighton, said there are very few such marine areas with such rich biodiversity left on the planet. An oil spill like this will impact almost everything there. Sunil Kumar Nandeshwar, the captain of the Japanese ship, was arrested last month and charged with unlawful interference with the operation of a property of a ship that resulted in unsafe navigation. The 58-year-old Indian national faces 60 years in jail if found guilty.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.